What's up, you guys? It's Jonno! Today I got another exciting adventure in Pokemon Quest. Yo! I discovered a new dish, you guys. This is crazy. I actually was just putting random ingredients into cooking pots because, as you may have noticed, I have a ton of dishes that I have not discovered yet, and I discovered a brand new dish. Oh my goodness. Plus, I got a new Pokemon. I got a Kabuto. So yeah, I had a good day. I think you could say I had a good day. Alright, so once I discovered the new dish, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm about to show you guys what this dish is in just a second. We got a little bit of footage to catch up on. It is the Risotto a la cube. Alright, so you can use this to get Pikachu. That's probably the most important takeaway from this whole video. You can actually get Pikachu from this recipe anytime you feel like it. You know what that means? Shiny hunting Pikachu! Yeah! So that's what I'm gonna be doing. This will definitely be one of the recipes that I mix into my regular rotation so I can get a shiny Pikachu. Obviously, one of my favorite Pokemon. The other one I'm trying to get right now is shiny Magikarp. You guys know I have been on the hunt for that shiny Magikarp. But here it is, you guys. This is the recipe that I'm talking about. The Risotto a la cube. I want to make sure I say it correctly. Alright, I think I said it correctly. I don't know. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I got a double Pikachu. I was really hoping for the shiny off of my first encounter with this recipe, but I couldn't get it. So I decided that I would do some more of this recipe. Yes, I was trying to do more and more of the recipe, but I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure out what is this recipe? Like, what do I actually need to put in there? The recipes in this game are so strange. They tell you it needs a whole lot of this and a little bit of that, and it's like, but wait, what does that mean? You know, they're like, put red ones. I'm like, wait, there's 2 red ones. So there are variations on the recipes that I finally discovered, and I'm going to explain them in this video, okay, you guys? Have you guys noticed this? There are good recipes, there are very good recipes, and there are special recipes. But what does it mean? Well, it's mostly based off of the ingredients that you use. The small ingredients on the top are less rare than the large ingredients along the bottom. When you look at the food in the actual ingredients list, there's a small row and a big row. I never noticed that, you guys. I actually never noticed that. All the ingredients on the top are smaller and more common than the ingredients on the bottom. I had no idea. Anyway, we are going to get more into that in just a second, but I wanted to try and progress my story. You guys know that I'm very keen on beating the game, progressing the story until the very end, and possibly unlocking some legendary Pokemon, right? So I got to beat these levels, so we're going to go ahead and try the boss level of the Nightly Nook right now. Let's go see if I can beat this thing. Alright you guys, so that was a pretty good attempt, but as you can see, I am just not strong enough to defeat the Nightly Nook, which has Gengar as one of the possible bosses, which obviously one of my favorite Pokemon, so I was really happy to encounter Gengar, and I hope that it gives me a random wild Gengar from my encounters after this level, so we'll see if that happens. But in the meantime, I was able to get a couple more recipes of the Risotto à la cube. It was actually pretty easy to do, but I was trying a lot of different variations that I thought would work, and some of them just wouldn't work, so I had to actually go and look up the recipe for this dish for the very first time ever. I've never Googled a recipe, you guys. I always ask for recipes in the comments, or I just discover them on my own, which has been pretty fun, but they're pretty hard to discover because the recipes in the recipe book don't actually tell you how to create them. They just kind of give you that weird sentence that a whole lot of soft things and a lot of yellow. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. So there are many variations that you could use to actually accomplish this recipe, and they will give you different dishes. They'll give you good dishes, very good dishes, and special dishes. So this is a big deal. I really did not understand this feature prior to Googling, and once I Googled, I realized that if you use different ingredients, you'll get different variations on the same dish, and they have different Pokemon that they can give you. This is a really huge deal because it actually affects the different Pokemon that you'll get from the recipe. As you can see, you can get Pikachu, Magnemite, Voltorb, and Electabuzz from this recipe. It's a pretty limited set of Pokemon, which is good because that means we have the most likelihood to get a Pikachu. It's got about a 25% chance to get a Pikachu. The good, very good, and special dishes will be based upon different ingredients. I absolutely had no idea that that was even a thing in the game. That means that you could make this recipe with all different variations of ingredients, which I have on the screen for you guys right now. So that definitely changes the way that I'm going to be creating my dishes in the future. That's a super big deal. So yeah, you guys, I think I'm pretty much just gonna focus on special dishes, but like I said earlier in the video, those ingredients are more rare and you won't find them as often, so sometimes I'm gonna have to create the good and very good dishes as well. I was able to find a nice visual asset online that actually I pulled that graphic from, so yeah, if you want to find a big recipe list, you can just Google Pokemon Quest recipe list and go to images, and you'll find an image that has all of the recipes if you want to. Now, I personally consider that spoilers, so in this case, I had already discovered this recipe. I was desperate to figure out how do I recreate the recipe because I want to create Pikachu so I can get shiny Pikachu, and I had to go Google it, okay? So to me, it's not spoilers once I've already discovered it and I want to know how to redo it again and I can't figure it out and I tried really hard, which is what you guys saw in the previous video. I was able to create it about twice without looking it up, but then I was getting it hit and miss, and I actually discarded probably about 15 Pokemon that I cooked up that I couldn't figure out the recipe, and I kept getting mulligan, so I thought, well, let's just go Google it, and it's actually better for informational purposes for the video if I Google it anyway, so I think it'll add value to the video for you guys to know the information, and of course, it's interesting for me to know as well. So I'm like, Jonno, just Google it. So yeah, I may be doing more of the episodes in this format where I actually show the recipe and talk about the different Pokemon that it can get. I just wasn't doing that before because I really didn't want to Google anything, but I'm pretty advanced in the game now. I feel like I'm not spoiling the game for myself, you know, that's really important to me. It's gotta be fun, you know? So I don't want to spoil the game for myself, but I don't mind looking them up, you know, once I get so desperate that I just want to know. But I did not look at any of the other recipes that were around this one. I just looked straight at this one and I basically put blinders on to the rest of it. I just don't want to know. I want to have fun, you know? Anyway, you guys, that's what I did for this episode. I was trying to get a shiny, just trying, and I got a new Pokemon, Kabuto, earlier in the episode, and I got a new dish that's gonna help me get shiny Pikachu. So I thought, well, that's pretty episode worthy if you think about it. Being able to get shiny Pikachu is going to be a whole series in itself. So yeah, we're definitely going to be using this recipe and mixing it in with the other recipes that I've been using. I'm mostly trying to get shiny Pikachu and shiny Magikarp. I mean, two of the most popular Pokemon in the entire game. And obviously, I want to get them. Magikarp is one of my favorites favorite Pokemon. I don't know why, I just love that goofy little carp. Anyway, you guys, that's about the end of this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If I get a shiny Magikarp, should I evolve that thing? That's the real question. I know that's random, but that's the real question. If I get a shiny carp, should I evolve it, or should I just keep it as a permanent shiny carp? I might actually do it. Anyway, you guys, answer that for me down in the comments, and I am gonna keep on shiny Pikachu hunting with this new dish, actually right when I get done filming this. Thanks everybody for watching, thank you to my amazing subscribers, and peace!